Welcome back. Dr. Rees again with one of our occasional notes to our recently published book, Our Shared Illusion, What Neuroscience Can Tell Us About Our Brain, Our Mind, and Our Future. In chapter 3 of our book, we deal at great length with the theory of consciousness. Consciousness, of course, is a fraught term, ill-defined and umstritten. However, in chapter 3, we settle on a naturalistic theory, namely the theory by Michael Graziano, a psychologist from Princeton, who favors the attention schema theory of consciousness. Briefly, attention is defined as a signal enhancement procedure, selecting from the variety of impulses, visual or otherwise, in the environment, the one of interest, decreasing the influence of items not of interest, and enhancing the focal point of what is salient to the organism. He then goes on to criticize other theories and eventually arrives at a position where he states that attention can be modeled by a so-called attention schema. In order to direct attention efficiently to the appropriate targets, we need a schema of attention. It's a part of control theory. In order to control any process, the controller needs to incorporate a model of the process in order to exert optimal control. Similar with the selection of attention. So the attention schema then is not accessible to consciousness. It's not something that you can tune into and look into. However, it operates in the back, and it provides a rough sketch of the attentional processes that we are involving ourselves with. This dissociation of a process being modeled but being out of awareness creates a sensation of uncanniness. There's something odd and ephemeral about being attentive or being conscious. So I cannot do justice here to this chapter in the book. In the show notes, I have a link to the book that I'd like for you to peruse. Now, the reason we are revisiting this again are twofold. A number of years ago, Graziano was interviewed on YouTube and asked if he could conceive of an AI system to perhaps become conscious. Without hesitation, he said, of course. It's an engineering problem. This remark stuck with me ever since, this assuredness that he displayed in his answer. Many papers later, in which he has characterized the attention schema theory of consciousness, I now noticed that his lab and his thinking has migrated into a different arena, namely artificial intelligence. So, in artificial intelligence, processes like consciousness, of course, do not play a role. The question is there a way in which, for example, a large language model could ever become self-aware and conscious? Now, if we follow Graziano's theory, we would require that the AI program needs to incorporate a measure of attention direction and modulating and modeling an attentional process. This, in fact, has occurred already. A new algorithm has been created by Google engineers a number of years ago now, resulting in a paper called Attention is All You Need. You know that the large language models largely predict the next word in a sequence of words or tokens. Now, the Google engineers have found a way to incorporate the context of a large number of tokens before the critical word occurs that needs to be followed by the next token. And this is in fact a form of retrospective attentional consciousness, let's say attentional selection of a context that allows for a more precise prediction of the next token in question. And it was this algorithm, this modification, resulting in the paper of Attention is All You Need, that has powered systems like OpenAI's GPT-3 and 4. Now, in the last few months, I noticed that papers have appeared in a variety of journals, usually in the archives, which is a depository of freshly emerging publications in science, that hint at the possibility that, in fact, if the researchers incorporate an algorithm of attentional mechanisms into the AI becomes more effective in tuning itself, in adjusting its internal parameters to be more tuned to the task at hand, and in becoming more efficient. Also, when AIs cooperate and each AI has an attentional algorithm added to its armamentarium, their cooperation with other AI agents becomes much more effective and precise. So then, Graziano's original idea has now mutated and migrated into the AI community and the thinking surrounding AI models, and is, in my view, re-energizing the debate whether or not an AI system could ever be conscious. What I find encouraging about the strategy is that it is based or derived from a maybe essential component of consciousness in humans, and that is the attentional mechanism and the attentional schema as originally laid down by Michael Graziano. Several references are included in the show notes. You can click on the PDF files. We also include some quotations from chapter 3 of our book. A picture of our book is also shown with a link. For 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks, you can download our book from Kindle, Amazon, and familiarize yourself with the incredibly rich debate on consciousness that we discuss in chapter 3. Thank you for your attention.